Couple of shout outs here for this recipe. Of course, the John Kirkwood, of course, from the UK, and also Nagi, I hope I pronounced that correctly, from Recipe Tin Eats, from Sydney, Australia. And um, she does the Warburtons. Warburtons are the UK's largest English crumpet maker, and she does that recipe very well, very simply. So let's warm up the oven to about, mine starts at 100, so I wait until it goes to 101, then I turn the oven off again and just leave the light on and the door closed until we're ready. Active dry yeast. I think there's about 2.5 tablespoons in that sachet. You're supposed to use 1 tablespoon, but it really doesn't matter. The water is now at around 85. I don't know if you can, no, you can't see that. You have to trust me. It's around 80, 85 Fahrenheit. Just a couple of tablespoons there, and we're going to need a half teaspoon of sugar. Let's get that sugar. And I should just say that this is the hand mixer style. I did try using a handheld beater to mix this up. It damn near killed me. So let's get the handheld power mixer in there and just get that yeast ready to go. We're going to prove it first. Always a good thing to do. You don't have to do this, but I like to just get it started in that nice little warm oven with its nice little warm water. And it goes in the oven for around 10 minutes with the door open. I'm expecting the interior temperature of the oven to be about the same, around 70 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Going to measure out 150 grams of flour, all-purpose flour. Teaspoon of baking powder. And a half teaspoon of salt. There's the salt, yes. I knew we had it somewhere. Now let's see how that yeast is getting on. Did it start? Let's just have a look. Yes, it did. Wonderful. So now we've got a working yeast. Gonna add the flour, baking powder and salt. And the remainder of the warm water. And what we're looking for here is a stiff, frothy batter. And it's the stiff, frothy batter that makes these crumpets so gorgeous. Keep pulling it down off the sides. And you'll be wanting to do this for at least 1 to 2 minutes. That's looking good. You just can't overbeat this batter. You just can't overbeat it. Just make some froth there. Alrighty, that's the final bring down from the sides. And the oven, the warm oven, is still sitting there waiting for us. And we're going to put that in there for 30 minutes. 30 minutes in real time, of course. Set that timer. Meanwhile, these are my crumpet rings. I've never actually used a crumpet ring without that little handle thingy on the side, so I don't know whether it's better or not. If you haven't got crumpet rings, sometimes an old tuna can will work, but they're cheap enough at local supermarket, a couple of dollars. I'm going to use an ice cream scoop for this batter. That's the best way to handle it. See how frothy that is. Super. So let's low to medium heat. There's a slight deviation from Warburton's here. They say fairly high heat, but I don't know. Maybe it's a thickness thing, but I like to use a slightly lower. You definitely don't want the butter, and this is why we're using butter in the pan. If it starts to smoke, you're probably too hot. And an ice cream scoop is just perfect for handling that batter. Let's let that sit a couple of minutes. I'm going to wait until the heat has gone all the way through. See how I filled the ring up about 3/4, half to 3/4 full. You can see that top is still a little bit liquid. The bubbles are starting to form. There you go. Sometimes they drop out, sometimes they have to be persuaded. See what this guy's going to do. Oh, yeah, he's good. So now, with it fairly firm on the top, or just starting to get firm, going to flip it. Cook the top golden brown. That sliding on the pan is a bad move. You really need to just drop it there and then wait for it to firm up. Didn't lose too much batter that time. And just keep going like that until the top is starting to get golden brown. That's a matter of personal preference. These crumpets have got a lovely mix of crunchy bottom and really soft top. Can be used, you can have them, when I was a kid we used to have these with baked beans for breakfast. Or you can put sweet things on them, like I'm going to use honey. Honey from Glasgow. This is not the right knife. I don't know why I'm wasting your time like this. Just bear with me. There's the texture all the way through. Soaks up anything very well. Nice. And here, this recipe makes about 6. Here they